Hello, and welcome to another Crack a Pack. Today, we will be investigating 3 more play boosters from Murders at Karlov Manor and making a pack 1 pick 1 all the way up to pack 1 pick 3. Let's get started. Fairy Snoop. Basilica Stalker. Hazda Vigilante. Escape Tunnel. Out Cold. Public Thoroughfare. Bite Down on Crime. Sanitation Automaton. Case of the Pilfered Proof. Torch the Witness. Presumed Dead. Our rare is Fugitive Codebreaker. 1 red for a 2/1 creature. Goblin Rogue. Rare. Prowess. Haste. Disguise. 5 red. When Fugitive Codebreaker is turned face up, discard your hand, then draw 3 cards. A foil, eliminate the impossible. An island. And a clue token. All right. So right away, the 2 red cards in the pack are the ones that are standing out to me most. I think Fugitive Codebreaker is good both early and late in a game, as a 2/1 prowess haste for 2, it's able to land early on and start doing damage. Even though I think the disguise ability is a little expensive, if you're hellbent or only have 1 or 2 cards in hand, then drawing the 3 cards might give you the fuel that you need to close out the game. So I'm definitely looking at that card. And then Torch the Witness I think is a great removal spell, and I love that it also investigates. So this is kind of a tough choice, but I think I will err on the side of picking a creature. So I'll be taking Fugitive Codebreaker and moving on to pack 2. On the job. Crowd Control Warden. Macabre Reconstruction. Makeshift Binding. Galvanize. Behind the Mask. Person of Interest. Expose the culprit. Exit Specialist. Case File Auditor. The rare is Commercial District. Land, Mountain, Forest. Rare. Commercial District enters the battlefield tapped. When Commercial District enters the battlefield, surveil 1. We have another rare, Archdruid's Charm. Green, green, green. For an instant, rare. Choose 1. Search your library for a creature or land card and reveal it. Put it onto the battlefield tapped if it's a land card. Otherwise, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Exile target artifact or enchantment. A foil unauthorized exit. a mountain, and a punch-out card. Alright, so this is going to be a very difficult pick, I think. I see several things that are defensible. Archdruid's Charm, Galvanize, and Makeshift Binding are probably what I would consider to be the most likely candidates for a first pick. And then On the Job and Person of Interest, along with Exit Specialist and Unauthorized Exit, are also cards that I am interested in, though not as much as these. So, I think as a first pick, I would be looking at Archdruid's Charm and Makeshift Binding more than Galvanize. I really appreciate how versatile Archdruid's Charm can be, but the mana cost is quite demanding, and I'm not sure how committed to green I would want to be, whereas Makeshift Binding is a very solid card on its own. It has a much more forgiving mana cost, and it also happens to be in the best color in the set. So, I think by a very narrow margin, I would personally be taking Makeshift Binding. And then for our pick 2, to go with the Fugitive Codebreaker, I don't really think I'm considering Archdruid's Charm at all. But Person of Interest is going to jump up pretty high on my list. However, I think Galvanize is going to come out on top for me, not just because I think it's the stronger card, but I also think it would be a mistake to send this down to the person who likely took Torch the Witness. So I will go ahead and take Galvanize as the pack 1 pick 2. And we're on to the last pack. Toxin Analysis. Griffonaut Tracker. Dog Walker. Rot Farm Mortipede. Rubble Belt Braggart. Unauthorized Exit. Topiary Panther. Benthic criminologists. Flotsam and jetsam. Case of the trampled garden. Crime novelist. Our rare, officious interrogation. White, blue, for an instant, rare. This spell costs white blue more to cast for each target beyond the first. Choose any number of target players. Investigate X times, where X is the total number of creatures those players control. A foil evidence examiner. A foil full art planes. And a mysterious creature. All right. So this pack is significantly less good than our last one, I would say. I don't think I have ever seen this rare be played before. And the maximum you could target is yourself and your opponent. So maybe you could get a bunch of clues off of this. Other than that, we've got an evidence examiner, and then probably the card that I'm most interested in is the dog walker. It's a little unfortunate that taking that card would set us up to fight with both of the other drafters here. But we do have to consider all of these drafters in a vacuum, as they wouldn't have this information, and we just have to make the best pick that we can. And unfortunately for this pack, I think Dogwalker really is our best option. So I would go ahead and take that as the first pick. And then for our pack 1, pick 2, to go with the makeshift binding, I think we're going to have to deviate from white, because I don't think Gryphonaut Tracker is a good enough second pick. We could think about Evidence Examiner if we wanted to flex into 3 colors. There's also an Unauthorized Exit, which I think would go nicely with makeshift binding and lend itself to a control kind of deck. We also have Case of the Trampled Garden, and I think green-white could be an interesting color pair to think about. And it would be best to focus on taking a lot of creatures if that is the direction that we chose to go. And I think out of those cards, I would probably narrow it down to just the uncommons. If we wanted to pick up Unauthorized Exit, as a common, I think we would have enough opportunity to do that throughout the rest of this pack and the other two. And I think I'd like to see if we could make the Evidence Examiner work. I think it's a valuable effect as long as we can continue to collect evidence. And I'm not opposed to 3 colors, especially if one of these is a splash. So for the pack 1 pick 2, I will take the Evidence Examiner. And that leaves us with our pack 1 pick 3, which might be the hardest pick of all, because I don't really think there is much for us in here. I think our options in red are pretty replaceable, and there's nothing else in another color that's really pulling me in another direction. I think our green case here might be the best remaining card in the pack, which kind of feels like a veer in another direction to follow up our first 2 picks. But like I said, I think everything else is fairly replaceable. For instance, if we wanted to pick up another Rubble Belt Braggart, I'm pretty confident that we would see one later on. Same for Gryphonaut Tracker or Unauthorized Exit. So, yeah, maybe I would try out Case of the Trampled Garden, and if we end up abandoning that pick later, then it doesn't really feel like a great loss. So, I guess I will go ahead and take that. And that will conclude our Crack-a-Pack. There we have it. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Play Booster Crack-a-Pack. And I'm curious to know what you think about each of these picks. I would love if you left a comment and let me know what you would have taken. Let's have a conversation about it. And of course, please make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. I put out new Magic the Gathering ASMR videos every Monday and Friday. But that will do it for today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.